I am Balachanda Deepthi Bopaya, to introduce myself. And with us today, we are going to be talking to Dr. Anju Parvanda A.B. Subaya. He was the goalkeeper, coach, he's a commentator. He's done so much for the well-being of Coorg, and he was also very integral to the making of our film as well. So thank you very much, and thank you for being with us this evening. We also have with us Amar Ayama, somebody who we kept bothering throughout the making of the film and wanted his inputs throughout, but was very happy. Him and his wife and his kids were involved in many parts of the film, and he himself has played hockey for India for almost 4 years. So we will be talking to you about your journey very soon. And lastly, we also have our director, Sandhya Kumar, somebody who we're very, very grateful for picking up a film like this and actually creating this legacy documentary for our community more than anything else. Sandhya is a National Award film director. In 2012, she actually won a National Award for another film of hers. The genres of films that she's been making has been very different. And we'll also talk to her about how she chose to make a film like this and all the other aspects of making this film. We're going to split this discussion for about 20 minutes where we have a Q&A. I have a Q&A with each of you, and then we will open it up for questions from everybody else. So I request each and everyone to please, it's lovely to see so many people who've logged in today for this discussion. Thank you very much. Sunday evening, taking the time in the lockdown. Hope each one of you are safe. So I will start my first question actually to Dr. A.B. Subaya. Sir, if you can tell us, how did this whole journey start and why is the Hockey Festival so important to you?
So actually, if you see, it is a vision of Mr. Kutrappa that he started in one way that he wants to bring all the Kodua communities, families together. So it is visionary because the common man, we are all never thought that one family tournament. We also never imagine in one of the family you will have a complete team. You can make a complete team or something like that. But the vision he had and the way he started, I think as the time went on, it has become a lot of success in this actually. Then you can see a lot of unity among the Kodua families due to this. And by the time, I think the time he started, it is only 67 teams could participate in the very first edition. But later it went on to highest is 329 when the Kulatra is conducted. And it is a huge, but I know we all thank him for starting such a tournament and bringing all the families together. And we didn't know that in our family itself, we had so much of talented young players, and they all came together and they formed as a team. And it is a great influence for a Coorg youngsters to take up hockey further. And it has helped us. And every year we went on participating in that, thinking that we are all prominent players who played for India, who is coming and participating in that. We can see a lot of youngsters taking up to hockey. So because otherwise the glamour of the tournament wouldn't have been there if the international players are not taking part in it. And all that said, our part of contribution is done. And what is Kutani has started, we also supported in some way.
So it's actually a very, interesting story, and I'll share that once Sandhya shares her brief on why she decided to make this film. There's a small little story that I want to share with you all. What's really interesting is 850 families, and out of that 329, and everyone has a full team. 11 members who actually play. There are boys and girls and men and women and grandpas and grannies, and it never happens anywhere in any part of the world. And I think that is what is so unique. And coming to Amar, you all have been, your family, the Palangana family has been winning many years, and you all had a great streak of wins. What does this hockey festival mean to you and your family, and how has it changed over the years for each one of you?
Hi Deepthi, good evening everyone for joining in. this tournament started in the year 1997. So probably at that point of time, like Subrina was saying, there was not many teams had participated, but gradually things started changing. I am very sure late Paranda Kutteni uncle, let the soul rest in peace. He's been a wonderful person, and he has never had anything else. His only motto was for the game to improve in Coorg and lot more people coming to play the game.
Yeah.
So he would have never thought that this tournament would go to this such heights. And yes, initially it used to be like I'm very honestly saying, like, most of our holidays would go into this tournament. Like if you have to play 7 or 8 games, a normal any office going person would have about 12 days of your casual leave that would all go into the tournament. But not even a minute of regret we have for that, because we have thoroughly enjoyed what has started. And unfortunately for the last 2 years, this tournament did not happen. I hope that it continues again from the next year, like last year due to the national calamities and this year due to the COVID. And we would probably be playing in Coorg at this point of time, if not.
Yeah, it would have been going on. We would have all been there.
Yeah, true.
That's...
And yeah, for if you ask me, for the family, it has been a wonderful journey for all of us. There were so many people in our own families who would never meet and we never knew they existed. So there's a lot of bonding within families. And for the older people, like our parents and our grandparents, it has become a matter of pride for them. So and the number of people who come to watch these games is amazing. You would have more than 30,000-40,000 people watching the finals. It is electrifying.
Absolutely. And I think just to add to that, a lot of people even in Bangalore have not heard about this. You know, when this is the world's largest festival, when we were making the film, there were a lot of people who said, really? 20,000 people, 30,000 people? Who are these people who come to watch? But you know, the atmosphere and the spectators across all age groups, just seeing them enjoy it, it was a wonderful experience for us. Coming to Sandhya, I think Sandhya, it's very, very important for us to understand and know, how did you choose to make this film? I mean, the kind of films you made in the past have been very different and never been in live sport, I would say, or even in sport. So if you can just take us through how and what was running in your mind and how did you decide to make this documentary?
Thanks everyone for joining in for our discussion. We started making this film in 2013, so it's actually 7 years now. More than 7 years when we first started making it. I had grown up in Delhi. I had not heard much about Coorg except for it being a hill station and a beautiful scenic space. When I came to Bangalore, I met a lot of very cool Kodavas and I was like, oh, these people seem pretty cool bunch of people. And we attended a wedding with Coorg. And I kind of began to see that the whole society was actually quite different from even rest of India, rest of Karnataka. And somebody happened to say, he said, oh, if you like Coorg and you make films, you must make a film on this hockey festival. You know, nobody's made a film and not enough people knew. I was actually really surprised when I heard that so many teams play. Like he said, over 200, going up to 300 families are playing. So we just kind of started doing the research and I asked Deepti. And when you talk to a Kodava about it, it's to be like, it's the most normal thing. Yeah, we have a hockey festival. Yeah, so many families play. But I was like, oh my God, there's something so big here and we need to find out. So we kind of went for our first meeting in January of 2013 and we met Kuttappa uncle and the family who was hosting it that year. And things actually started moving very fast because in February, the family was having its first meeting and the tournament was starting in April. So there wasn't much time to plan. So we were kind of shooting as well as doing our research. So because it was just such a fascinating subject, I decided to make the film. And because I got so much help from the Kodavas, everybody we met, they were very open and very welcoming. And everybody was very happy to share their stories and come across. So I think, yeah, I think there's a lot of energy that came from everywhere. So we kind of just went into it, you know, straight ahead and kept moving.
Shooting a film, especially a documentary film live with matches going on, how was that experience? Because we were a very small team. We were 4 people, including you, you know, were running around everywhere to make this documentary film. So how did you imagine that? And, you know, when you saw the entire edit time, what really went through your mind at that point of time?
I mean, I can see Dr. Subaya and Amar looking at me, and I have to be very honest in saying that I actually had to understand the rules of the game of hockey before I started shooting it. I didn't even know all the rules and how it works. And I kind of became a regular at KSHA, landing up there. KSHA is the Karnataka State Hockey Association. So going there to meet, because that was like the common central place to meet a lot of players. So yeah, I mean, ideally we should have had 2 camera people or maybe at least 4 cameras, but we just somehow managed with 2 cameras. We would have one camera that was stationary and another camera that moved with the player who had the ball at the time. And so yeah, a lot of, I think, people who were ready to work, like this camera people and Deepthi and all, who were all part of the crew. It was, so I was looking at the film recently again and I was like, oh my God, I really wish I had more cameras on. We could have created so much more of this magic and close-ups if we had that. But we didn't have that. But we still had so much enthusiasm and desire to make this film. So I think that kind of made us go and get it together. And I was very keen to also add this aspect, the cultural aspect and social aspect of hockey in Coorg. It wasn't just a tournament. It wasn't just about a game. It was about the Kodavas. It was about Kodava society. It was about family, the importance of family, playing for your clan. I don't even think people really understand this concept of a family or clan, which is so unique to the Kodava society. Like nowhere else in India we have this system. It's like saying Khandan, but it's your like larger clan and you come from that particular family and you play for your family. Except for girls who got married had the choice. They could either play for their father's family or they could play for their husband's family. So, so Coorg is so kind of advanced in all of those kind of thinking and people are very open and maybe hockey is what makes them so fun-loving. I don't know.
Definitely, I think these are aspects of most Kodwas, and we take pride and joy in our sport and in just being hospitable. I think that's something you would have seen, and like you mentioned in Coorg, everybody is more than happy to help and serve us food, and we never have to worry about our food and meals because every house we went to were more than happy to serve us. So I think that was one of the nice things. What's also interesting about this film is that we actually crowdfunded this film after we shot for almost 1.5 years. I remember every weekend driving down to Coorg when the matches were there and leaving early in the morning, coming back Sunday evening, because we all had other things to do as well, but we really wanted to shoot this film and be part of Sandhya's team in some sense.
That was closer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it's a lovely memory. Now when I think of it, and I actually happened to see the film again yesterday, and it just brought back so many emotions and just that crowd. And I really hope, this legacy that Kutani uncle has started continues year on year, and it gets bigger and bigger and more people watch it and see it. My next question is really to Dr. Subbaiah again. And before, I just want to let people know that if you all have any questions, you can just type it into the chat box and whoever you want to address it to. So I will come back and ask the questions as well. So for you, can you share your journey about how you got into hockey and made it to the Indian team, and why this hockey festival is important from a talent spotting aspect?
Yeah, for me, Diti, if you go through that, hockey is the pastime game in Coorg. See, whereas everybody plays a cricket in the evening, 1 ball, 1 bat, and another 10 people fielding. If you see in Coorg, I think Amar is also from my place. We are played for the same club, Wonders Club. By the time when we started playing, I used to play in the 3rd team of the Wonders Hockey Club. 3rd. I think Amar was in the 4th team. They all used to play in the basketball court. We are used to play in the one coco court. And the 2nd team is to have a hockey field, and the main team is to play the main field. So much around. If you find every day after our school time or our college time, we used to go there, and there is around 60 to 80 kids playing. And it is such that because you can see that when India won the 1975 World Cup, that the Indian team had come and played an exhibition in Madikeri. The whole Indian team, they bought there. They played against Coorg 11. Later, they played against Karnataka 11. There is a match. So much was the interest for hockey in Coorg. And moreover, by the time Govinda, BP Govinda, Ganesh, and Kalaya had all been a part of Indian team. They were leading the Indian team that time. They won the World Cup and all that. That hockey fever kind of thing is built in Coorg. So anywhere you find in the evening, so everybody, what is the pastime game you play? Where you go on Saturday, Sunday, what you do? They say we play hockey. Such was the atmosphere.
That's true. That's why we aptly named the film Hockey in My Blood, because everyone we interviewed were kept saying, "Idu nangada chorel undu." This is, you know, even the commentary that was happening. So that's where this light bulb happened. And we're like,
The best interesting thing is that we never used to go in the summer holidays to grandparents' place. Here we used to go. But when there is a hockey practice and all, we used to run there because a lot of hockey players, a lot of friends. So that summer holidays, we end up playing hockey there in Coorg. So it's a pastime game for us. Like, no, it is a evening game.
Yeah.
What do you want? We'll play hockey.
Yeah.
It's not a carom. It's not that time TV and nothing was there, but we are all used to be in the ground. We used to feel proud of it.
Yeah. Amar, for you, I think, it would have been slightly different growing up in Bangalore, playing. So how was that journey and transition, from playing hockey to Sports Authority of India and then playing for India? If you can take us through that, and how, because the Kodwas we've contributed more than 55 players to the national team over the years, which is a lot. So, there is something that is there from a pathway standpoint. So if you can just share your journey, that would be inspiring to a lot of youngsters watching.
So for me, when I was very young, my house was just next to the ground. So that was it was not a choice. I had to go to the field every day. And the thing is, like Ms. Subaya was saying, there used to be like 70 to 80 people of different age groups playing in the evenings every day. So, and if you didn't go one evening, they would probably call out to you and say, come out to the ground. So that was the kind of thing. And then I got into the Sports Authority of India, and then it was in Bangalore from about 12 or 13 years of age. But at the end of it, going back and playing in Coorg, that was a different pleasure altogether. I have even missed my exams to go back and play in Coorg. So,
yeah, we've heard a lot of those stories where people have gone missing to come and play the match, quit their jobs, miss their exam.
Yes.
All for the love of hockey. That's amazing.
Amazing. One is love for hockey, and one is like Sandhya was saying, playing for your clan. That gives you a different kind of satisfaction altogether. So it is something very different which cannot be explained by words, but yeah, it gives you an immense pleasure. So that was one of the reasons we would always go back to play in Coorg.
Yeah. Amazing. I mean, just hearing these stories, I'm sure there's so many stories and so many different people who really struggle to put these festivals together. And just to share another tidbit, when a family gets to host the hockey tournament, they have to take care of end-to-end aspects. That is right from sponsorship to the ground, to the people, to everything in the making of that festival. So it is actually a unique set of skill sets that each family needs to try and find within their family to take that ownership. So that is also very interesting, because when the family gets the job to do it, you can't just say, I'll do one aspect of the hockey festival. You have to do the entire thing. So that's also a very fascinating aspect of it. Sandhya, from your side, what do you feel is if there was one thing that you could do differently when you see the film now, what would it be? Apart from the cameras, additional cameras.
Additional cameras is really number one. Yeah.
Apart from
able to and even have GoPro cameras that could have been close to the game. At that time, I think because this was the first time I was doing something like this, I felt I'd done, we'd managed to pull off something really well, and we'd managed to capture the goals, and I felt really good about that. Other than that, I think if we also had, again, it was also a budget thing because of crowdfunding. We could have spent more time hanging out with the players and their families. Right now, we've got them coming and giving sound bites. So they're really like, sound bites talking about related to hockey. But if we had more time, we could have made a longer film, which was also looking at them as as the life of the players. You know, we could have also followed a little bit more of the sociological angle, because yeah, we've got the sport, we've got the mania and love for hockey coming, but I feel we could have managed to get inside the people a little bit more.
Yeah. So how many people, Dr. Subbiah, have actually approached you after that, young talent or parents saying, my son or daughter is playing in the, hockey festival, what next? So if you have any advice for aspiring youngsters, how should they really plan?
Actually, there is a lot of people they approach, because when not only me, all the top players like Amar and who all played hockey and all they'll come. They wanted to see their youngsters doing well, and they say, "Oh, he's my son who is playing against you today." Like, no, what is the advice for them they should do and all that? We always tell them, like, no, basic education, and education is very important along with that, because you're not playing a cricket, you're playing hockey. So you need to be along with hockey, and your education is very important. See, yeah, all the talented players, we told them, because for them to get a break, I think they should join the sports hostel, which is mostly Sai Hostel, which has produced a lot of players in Bangalore. So we always tell them, you come up to that standard and join there and put your hard work there, and you'll get an opportunity, breakthrough to do well from there. You're going through universities, you'll play the state and you'll play the nationals. And from there, because they can take a cue, if they go, it is a kind of a cue, they can take it. All the former players who are all played from that hostel, like including from my time, we are all from the hostel. After that, Amar, and a lot of, after that, now also that is a legacy of player break to start hockey. As your career, it may from the family tournament you can start, but they have to improve, they have to continue. It is not the only 1 month which they are practicing and playing in the tournament, but they have to continue for this thing. They can make their future out of it. Like, no, most of we all done, so they also can do it. That is the only advice I used to give them most of the time.
I think I fully agree that education is equally important in sport. But if you see in the last 5-10 years, the amount of interest and money that has come into sport, where people can have careers in other sports beyond cricket, it's nice to see that as well, with the leagues coming, and kabaddi and hockey, and it's nice to see some players other than cricketers also done well. And if you look at the Kodwa clan again, I have to mention some of the athletes who've done really well beyond hockey as well. You have Rohan Bopanna, you have Joshna Chinnappa, you have Aarti Ponnappa, you have Robin Uthappa. There's just a lot of people who've done really, really well in sport. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of names. I'm sorry. These are the names that came up right on top of my mind. But we've produced athletes now, not just in hockey, but also going out to different sports. Amar, do you want to share some aspects on why do we do so well in sport? Like, why is sport so integral to the Kodwas?
See, I feel we are genetically the way we are, which helps us become good sports person. We see in Coorg, it is either in every family there's somebody in the armed forces or somebody's playing a sport. Yeah, now it has come down and people are pursuing other careers as well. But if you go back about 20-30 years back, I think these were the only two things most Kodwa people would do. You would, even now you would see so many people in the armed forces, and also so many other people taking up sports. So it is very, very, I think we are genetically there to play sport.
Okay. That's very interesting. We should find more of our talent from Coorg, then a proper scouting program across different sports.
Yes, if you see that, Coorg is the one district we have around 13 Arjuna awardees. That speaks the volume, actually. 13 Arjuna awardees we are from one district.
Wow. Actually, I also was not aware of that number, but that's amazing. I knew we had a lot, but 13 is really, really amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Sandhya, for you, obviously you mentioned when you didn't know much about the Kodwas, and when you came in, it was a very different type of thing. But coming from, you yourself are from Kerala, and you could understand the language, and you spoke in your Malayalam and still got around over there. But what is the most striking aspect when you say Kodavas? What is it that you felt or feel that comes across to you, which is very subtle and probably we don't speak about too much?
I'll say it in connection with hockey.
Yeah.
Because, and I mean, that kind of stands true for all other sports, and maybe it's an attitude that the Kodavas have. You know how everywhere you talk about sport, there is a kind of a song where people will lament and say that we don't have government funding, we don't have facilities, we don't have this, we don't have that. Agar mil jata to kar lete. But in Coorg, nobody ever says that. Whatever they have, I mean, there's hardly any AstroTurf grounds for hockey. They are picking up stones, they're using road rollers, they're using a jhadu and cleaning the floor and making it ready. And nobody is complaining that we haven't got funding for this, we haven't got that. They have crowdfunded from families, government is giving some money, government is giving some money. Fine, but they are collecting through families, they're putting their own money. And I think that was a huge learning lesson for me. That here are the people who love a sport, that they're good at the sport, and they are not waiting for any outside help or money to come. They're doing their own thing. And that, I think, when I saw that, I think that was also very encouraging to do the film, because I was like, okay, if you want to make the film, I'm not going to wait till I get the money until I, get some foreign channel to sponsor this. We can crowdfund it, we can make this happen. It's very inspiring.
Yeah, and the fact that so many Coorgs also came forward to support the film and help us create this legacy. Thank you,
absolutely, absolutely.
For doing your bit in making us create.
So I mean, all of you were there, but some people who hearing this session. So we had our first screening at this old theater, which could seat 400 people. And they had never used their houseful board. They were like, oh my God, where is that houseful board? We had 400 people come for the first screening in Bangalore and shouting from the balconies. And you guys were there, and it was really something as a director to be experiencing that.
Yeah, that was a really special evening in the old theater style as well. Great. So Amar, just a question, in terms of the younger generation, like you mentioned, we're not really going back into sport that much. And once you come out of Coorg, in cities, it's very difficult to continue playing sport, because obviously you want to be independent, you want to do other things. So with your own children, do you feel, you encourage them for sport? Like, what is your advice to young parents?
Yeah, Dipti, you know what? Our time, sports was not expensive. Now sports is really expensive. See, I want my children to play. My son is playing football, so he even played in the under-13 I-League the last season.
Okay.
It is too taxing, and we are too careful parents nowadays. Otherwise, in our times, it used to be like you could go to the ground. You didn't have to tell your parents when you're going to the ground. That was okay. But now, every time you have to take your kid out, you need to chauffeur them around. It becomes a huge responsibility on the parents as well. It is difficult, but I'm very sure it is worth it. At least a few years may not be competitive sports, but yes, every kid should have a go at sports. It really builds your character, builds your mental and physical strength, which is very, very important in today's world. Otherwise, you get the kid, you leave the kids to their own self, they would be on the phone for the hours a day, and they would be playing more virtual games than physical games.
Yeah.
Esports,
planning to also come into the Olympics. It's very scary to see, that whole movement also come in. But yeah, sports, like you said, builds character. It helps you learn winning and failing, and it teaches you so many different things which otherwise in a school environment you may not pick up. And most people who've played sport, you may not need to win that Olympic medal, but the fact that you can push your own human limits and see where you can get to in itself is a very, very big aspect of knowing your own self.
It is very fulfilling, actually. Sports is very fulfilling. You feel very good after every game. But if you take a corporate life, see, we have played sports and we work with corporates, but this is nothing. What I'm doing today is nothing compared to what I used to do before.
That's true. We actually will open up to questions. We have one question who somebody sent me separately from Mr. Anand Dev Sharma, saying Coorg's persuasive culture of sport is likely to be having an impact not just on grooming talent, but also on lending a sense of purpose and confidence in the community, including perhaps reduced risk of social challenges like crime, gender discrimination, drug addiction. Has there been any study to assess the value created and possibly share with other states? Wow. Dr. Subbai, I'm going to ask you to answer that question because it's a wonderful question, but I'm not sure if we've really done that study.
Yeah, Anand, if you're talking about, so there is Coorg as a community, as the youngsters, they're little more responsible people. Like, usually they play all kind of sports. If you go on April and May, it's not only family hockey, it is a family football, family cricket, and you say that is not only Coorgis, it is the other people like Gaudas and many communities who are all living in Coorg. They're all having their own family tournaments, and it is a kind of if you read local papers, you can find it is a sports page from the third, fourth, six pages of what is the local daily. Last 3 pages will be of sports. So it is the youngsters, if they start playing hockey or any sport during that early age, during that 9th, 10th, 11th, whatever they're studying during that period, see, there is a very unlikely that they'll go into the wrong field or by playing any sport, you'll be more disciplined because of the stamina, because of the discipline, the hard work you're putting in and all that. Your energy is in the right track playing sport. It doesn't divert much, like you don't have much time for other things. When you have free time, you'll be playing some sport because there is some competition or the other is coming and your friends wants to play. So Coorg is such a place where your weekends or in the evening, you'll end up playing some sport. That is very good for youngsters. So either Dipti, what I'm saying, what are you saying? If all these lieutenant colonels was there, last 4 of the lieutenant generals was there of the coup, we had in Delhi the get together in the 2-3 months. If you talk to them, they're all played hockey. They talk about hockey because we are very knowledgeable of hockey because they're all, before joining the army, everything, they played their hockey in the university, schools, college, they talk about this thing. So that's a very knowledgeable about all sport. So that is encouraging. The parents encourage their children to take up any sport. They support them. That is very important. That's why our younger generation, they won't go here, there. I'm not saying everybody is in the discipline line, but there are some people are there. But maximum, if you see, our youngsters are in a right line.
Either we're playing sport or someone like me who decided to leave banking and get into sports administration and loving it for the last 7 years, somewhere be connected to sport. So it has to be there in some way, shape or form.
We envy you, Dipti.
Come join us, Amar.
That's right.
I'm just going to try and just address the last part of his question. To the best of my knowledge, Anand, I don't think we have done any such study, or not that I'm aware of, which has possibly been shared with other states. Maybe I'll look that up and maybe leave a note on our, on our Facebook page or something. If we can connect separately, I think we can get that. But to the best of my knowledge, I'm not sure if there's any study conducted. So I'm sorry, I will not be able to answer that question, but I'll come back to you if I can find out the answer. The next question, to Sandhya, is there any other concept like this in the making? Are there any other communities who have sport as their epicenter, like the Kodwas?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not making another film like this, but yeah, there are. If you see all of Northeast India, you see football is a very, very big thing. It's very similar to this kind of mania that Kodwas have to hockey. And there are quite a lot of films that have been coming out of the Northeast from Manipur and Nagaland and Bengal about football. So that's one thing I know, documentary films.
Okay, interesting. We have another question which is asking, is there any historical reason why hockey became popular in Coorg? Amar, you want to take that? Dr.
Nothing that I'm
coming
aware
back
of.
to you again.
Yeah, I know. I was just going through some history of how hockey has come to Coorg. Actually, Britishers started the sport in Coorg. See, by the time when our players, like, no, they used to go out to study. Like, no, some are in the Madras Christian College. Most of them used to study in St. Aloysius in Bangalore, or some of them are in Bangalore and all that. See, now what has happened, the people who went earlier, they taken up this hockey, our seniors, like, no, it is started maybe MP Ganesh and all joined the army very early year, and they went and played this sport before that. Then the legacy started, because when they started doing well, when they're representing India, when the people come to know about all these people, and that is started actually. So that they also think that the people, if they want to get any admission in the college in Joseph's or in Madras Christian College or Aloysius, if you had played hockey, they used to take. Any cool boy wanted admission, you play hockey, okay, join. So marks was never counted for us when we joined in either in Bangalore or in Chennai or in
I think that's across all different sports. Even we all got seats because of sport, playing basketball, tennis, and then getting into Mounts or JNC. So I think it was very similar for the girls as well. But yeah, I think need to do some more. Do you have anything to share, Sandhya, on that question when you were doing research?
I mean, this is a question we were also really trying to get the answer to it. So a lot of people said that these are the sports that the British introduced. And as you know, a lot of Coorg is divided into plantations. So a lot of people tend to stay within the plantations and play with people who are around them. So I think hockey, they felt like, no, they equally played cricket also and football also. In fact, now a lot of the children play football. But I think this point that Dr. Subbaiah said about role models and having people like MP Ganeshas and even Dr. Subbaiah as role models has helped them to think that, okay, hockey can be a ticket to get into the big city. Hockey can be a ticket to get into other things.
And to all the public sectors.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Jimmy has from Give Me Hockey has asked about, can anyone shed some light on Kashi, 63-year-old player from Pudiokada team. In 2017, he was all over social media. His team reached quarterfinals. Do we know? There's so many people who play, and there are such incredible people, even in their 80s, playing. So I'm sorry.
Maybe Dr. Subbaiah might know from 2017.
Yeah, see, we also know that Kashi is played. He is 63, and there is a people who played earlier, like no older to him also they played. See, main problem, Dipti, actually, it is good or bad, I don't know, because they're playing suddenly coming and playing in that age. But it's nice that you play for 5 minutes and 10 minutes and getting out of it, because when it has become a competitive game, it is very difficult for them, because we had some that way fatalities in some of the matches, and it is, and the same thing now we are also old. We hide from our parents, and my all sister, they all say that my wife, she'll be shouting like, no, in this age you have to go and do because after one of the tournament, Almangada family, I came and had a surgery, my shoulder surgery. So they say that in this age you wanted to take a risk. Why? To understand and all, you are not the same years what you used to play for India, and you're all not so young to play. So, but that had different fun. So same thing maybe for Amar also. Playing there, it's a different fun. So we forget.
Yeah, and I think it's important to address that this is very competitive. The rules are followed as the latest rules that are applicable for the Indian teams as well. So there's no leniency given in the game. So everyone has to be on top of their game to make it to the 11 and play the entire match. So yes, fully agree on that. There's another question here in terms of Anshul Chavan asking, I have read that people come all the way from different parts of the country and abroad. Also, is there any program or something for the talent pool that have been found from the hockey festival? There was a boy called Prajwal who was from the Aichitra Hockey Cup winner. So is there any program as such for the talent that is found? I know that there is talent scouting that happens during the tournament itself, but is there a program? Any of you can take the question actually.
Actually, what happens is, Dipti, the tournament is for about 1.5 months, and yes, like you said, there is a lot of talent scouting, but it's not done by the family cup or the organizers of the tournament. But yes, they get to, if they are really wanting to pursue their career in hockey, they get to the hostels. Like there are so many government sponsored sports facilities, even in Coorg or in Bangalore, Mysore, all over. So that's one opportunity from here. Regarding Prajwal, yeah, he played for our team. He was a find of the tournament. He had a great tournament. Yes, he's not pursuing hockey as a career. He's finished engineering and he's landed up in a job.
Okay. Okay. Oh. One question that's come for both Dr. Subbiah and Amar. What is the one memorable moment from any particular match? Anything which is your best moment?
Best moment always how we think it's a festival and is not such a great tournament compared to Olympic or Asian Games and all. But if I had to play against the Palganda team, I always think about Amar. Tomorrow, what he'll do. So if I'll play for a Kutanda team, I'll be thinking about Punacha. Where is he'll hit the penalty corners? We keep planning about how to stop them, how to this thing. How we are telling our defenders, you have to take this angle, then rest you leave it to me. I'll take this side. Whatever. No, it is a kind of a planning goes on. See, we are thinking that that is the high level, nothing. But to stop these kind of players who are all the top players and they know the tricks of the trade, to stop them, we are just concentrating like any other matches, when we used to play for India. When we know that.
Which was your most favorite match? Sorry, I'm asking you to think that.
Yeah, that was one of the. We had a rivalry with a few teams like Koothanda and Anjaparanda used to go very neck and neck. So, and with the Amar's team also many times we played and we lost many matches and we won few. And it is a kind of that is when we play each other. So it is a highlight on us actually, me or Amar in his team. They doesn't see that we left the sport 15 years back, active hockey or 10 years back or something. But the people expect to perform us in the same level when you're when you played for India. So to keep up, we are also have to concentrating, we have to putting a lot of efforts, and it is a kind of a different level altogether. Pressure from the crowd, family, actually all known people. So it is a more pressure for us to perform there actually.
I can imagine. Amar, for you, what was that one favorite or any particular match that you?
No, I don't know any particular match or a favorite thing, but the whole, the whole family tournament has been very, very memorable. I'm very, very lucky to have lived through it. It is an awesome feeling. And
you've played every single year?
No, 1 year, I missed 1 year. I had a knee surgery, but that year we won. So that was a great feeling, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is these games, they always, you have it in your memory. It is the first about 8 years, we could not win a tournament and get into the semifinals or quarterfinals and lose. And we would always want to win. The first year when we won in 2006, that was a great feeling that cannot be replaced by anything. Yes.
Amazing.
Subbiah was saying it is all about the crowd, so many people around you. It really gives you a great feeling.
Yeah. I remember when we were shooting, we were wondering the place where the matches were happening were a little far away. And everyone was wondering, will people come all the way here, 12 kilometers away from Virajpet and come and see, and then 20,000, 30,000 people there. And so it doesn't matter. I think wherever there's hockey, people in Coorg will come. So that was also lovely to see. Talking about Kutani uncle, I think since we've also dedicating this whole discussion to him, and when we had the opportunity to interview him, I think Kutani uncle was always known in the community to help a lot of other farmers, and he used to be in the bank, and he's very friendly and open. And he said that everything was heard on radio, and he wanted to get the best stars to come and witness people who've played at Asian Games, and get them, or youngsters, to really see them and be inspired. And I remember when Sandhya and I were talking, my dad was very, very close friends with Kutani uncle, and I remember them having that conversation, and he's like, yeah, don't worry, we can make whatever film that you want, whatever permissions that you want, and he was so encouraging from the time we spoke to him and met him. And he made sure we got all the permissions, he made sure he introduced us to everybody. And I think without his help and support, I don't think we could have done it so smoothly.
He said, where is your letter? He said, please write a letter.
Yeah, we had to write a formal letter also, to him, and say that you want to make this, and we had to get permission. And I remember we drove down and we spoke to him, and then, like Sandhya mentioned, we immediately, the next 2 weeks later, we had the family meeting. So everything just went on very well, and to see the documentary again and again just gives you new memories. And we're glad this is there. We didn't want to focus on any one family, but I think Sandhya, you want to shed some light on that in terms of which family to focus on, and there was some discussion.
Yeah, Sashti, that was a very, very daunting aspect, because we were told that there are 300 families, and I was like, okay, how do we start? Where do we start, and how do we start? So we said, okay, let's go back to see which were the winning teams of the previous year. And everybody was talking about Palanganda and this young boy, Prajwal, who had hit 3 goals, and he was like my man of the tournament, and he was some 12, 11 years old at the time. So we said, okay, let's start with him. Because also I think I was like, okay, I don't need to go and interview some ex-Olympian, but I can start with a 12-year-old boy. And then I think we met Amar in Bangalore. So actually through word of mouth, then we managed to connect to a few people, and I think then I got some clarity into how we could look at 3 or 4 families and use them as a microcosm for what rest of Coorg is at the hockey tournament. And of course, Madanda family was the organizing committee, organizing family of the time, and there was Timaya Madanda, who was also this young person at the helm of organizing everything. And like Deepti said, it was a little bit far away. It was in Balugodu. So he was facing the other challenges of also getting the crowd to come there. So yeah, I think, but as we kind of went along, we managed to then meet Chappudura family and go to their Palyamane. That was very, very special, where Mr. C.S. Punachar took us there and showed us the deity, and we couldn't shoot all of that. It was very, but to get that, not religious, but I think that very spiritual connect that people have with the ancestral house, and also bring that in the film.
Great. Wonderful. There's one question, Dr. Subbaiah, to you. We'd like to know something about India versus Korea finals in 1998 Asian Games. We wanted to go back.
Yeah, that
from Jimmy, actually.
Yeah, that is my 3rd Asian Games, actually. The 1990 Asian Games, we lost to Pakistan in the finals very closely, 3-2. And then we lost to Korea in the 94 Asian Games, that too also 3-2. Yeah. And that time, Pakistan and Korea were in the very top form. And either India, on that day, India, Pakistan, or Korea, anybody could win that tournament. So that day, actually, we are beaten them in the league pace, and we entered semifinals after beating Malaysia. We entered finals. But see, that is the tournament went on tiebreaker. So we won in tiebreaker, actually. That was the biggest thing, because that's our almost last tournament for me and Ashish Balal. So that is went on the tiebreaker, and we won in the tiebreaker.
Oh, wow. That must have been really, really exciting at that time. And you remember it clearly as well.
Yeah, yeah. We each and every match we remember, like no,
Wonderful.
whatever.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you so much. I think we've had a wonderful discussion today, and thank you everybody who made the time to be here. Please do watch the film, do share your comments, feedback. We are on Facebook, and please let us know if you all enjoyed it, and if you'll have any other questions that we haven't answered here. Thank you so much. And
Dipti, you can invite them for a next year tournament. Has a holiday in Coorg and watching this tournament.
Yeah.
The people who are all joined here.
If you've not seen the hockey festival, you must come. It's the Mukatira family who's going to organize it next year, and it's going to be wonderful as well. 30,000 people coming together. In 2 years it's not happened, so maybe 50,000 people who have been waiting to see a hockey match. So I invite each one of you on behalf of the Kodwas. I'm taking this opportunity to invite you for the hockey festival next year. And you must see it. And I think we're already in the Limca Book of World Records, and we're hoping to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. And there are some people who are working very closely to get it on that. And I hope we do manage to get that. And I hope this documentary can pave that way for us to make it into the Guinness Book of World Records as well. So thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Supriya. Thank you, Amar. Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you for coming. And thank you, everybody who made it.
Thank you.
And for being such an engaging audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.